The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
All right, man. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today in New Black Wall Street for our Money and Power shows. Bring to you guys crypto in the morning, man. We're talking about all things you need to know as it relates to cryptocurrency and things that's going on in the market. I'm your host, CRGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, the Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires. So welcome to this, Money Making Monday? It's Monday again. We're getting to the end of the year, so hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll this morning. While you guys are connecting, go and let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country, you might be connecting from here this morning. We're broadcasting across the World Wide Web into Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and probably somewhere else, Twitter as well. And we are from our virtual studios here in Decatur, Georgia. That's right, Decatur, where it's greater. Just love to know how far our reach is here this morning. I see I got a little bit of I don't have as great connection as morning as I normally have. Let's see here. Well, I'm not going to be able to worry about that this morning. I'll fix it tomorrow. But at any rate, let us know where you're connecting from. Matter of fact, we're supposed to do, I almost forgot, guys. I'll be forgetting sometimes. We're going to start our day with a little daily motivation for African American success. Right, daily motivation for African American success. Today is the 6th. Oh my goodness! And today's title is "The Meter is Running." The meter is running. John Rogers, who is a founder and Ariel Capital Investment. John Rogers, matter of fact, if you guys don't know, is obviously a black guy who runs an investment company with Melody Hobson. So if you don't know that guy, you might want to look him up if you're into stocks and stuff like that. You could be investing black as well. Remember, he says you can't build a reputation of what you're going to do tomorrow. You can't build a reputation on what you're going to do tomorrow. And Dennis P. Kimbrough says this in our little motivation for today. Our passage says, have you stopped to figure the cost of the phrase, wait a minute? For example, if you earn approximately $25,000 a year, every minute you have to wait costs 5 cents. At $50,000 a year, this figure doubles to nearly 10 cents a minute. And if you earn $500,000 a year, you're down worth more than $1 a minute. Johnson Publishing founder John H. Johnson mentioned that he regarded every hour of his day to be worth at least $1,000. Time is priceless. Indifference to the value of time is a real tragedy. Many a wasted life dates and ruined from a lost 5 minutes. Too late can be read between the lines of the tombs of a man or woman who has failed. A class of 6th graders has assigned a term paper to be completed over a 2-month period. The day the project was due had finally come. The instructor, the seasoned teacher, was prepared to hear all types of excuses from those who had not been working steadily on their papers. She approached each student to collect a report. Where's your report? The teacher asked the little girl in the left row. My dog ate it, the little girl replied through sad eyes. The teacher, who was used to this sort of thing, shot the small child a stare of disbelief. But the child insisted, it's true. I had to force him, but he ate it. It won't do if we don't begin to put our dreams and desires into action. Everybody put in comments, action. If we don't begin to put our dreams and desires into action, they will be eaten up by procrastination and inactivity. Don't waste another minute. Read the handwriting on the wall. Pursue your goals before it's too late. Pursue your goals before it's too late. And here's our affirmation today. It says this, and I quote, you can repeat after me if you like, and put this in the comments. Every minute of my time is precious. I will value this irreplaceable resource. Every minute of my time is precious. I will value this irreplaceable resource. That is from, Dennis P. Kimbrough. That is our daily motivation for African American success. But good morning, guys. Let's get right back into this thing. Crypto in the morning. More to you over Instagram, over Facebook, YouTube, and also Facebook, YouTube, where else we are. Morning, Miss Janelle Johnson House, Miss Angela Jenkins. I sound like a right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on this morning. I think I got some issues with my connection this morning. Good morning to you, Miss Wendell. Miss Lanita Smith. Good morning to you. How are you? Mr. Jordan Morrow's in the house. Good morning, Miss Alva, brother Aaron is in the house. Call that every minute of my time is precious. Absolutely. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Now, I might have to do this. Let me see something. I don't know. I don't know how do I fix this? Let me see if I can fix this, guys. You know, it might be my little background. I really don't want to have to, but it might be it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, but let's keep going, guys. I'll fix it tomorrow. I'm sorry if you have if I'm coming in a little funny. I will have to fix it tomorrow. Anyway, guys, we'll take a look, see what's going on in the crypto market, and then also we'll try to catch up. My video's frozen. They hating on Bitcoin. I know, right? I'll fix it tomorrow, guys. I don't have time right now. If I try to fix it right now, I'm gonna run out of time. So, but don't worry, guys. I gotta share my screen. 1 second. They say they hate on Bitcoin. Well, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I'll serve myself with it another day. All right, just sharing my screen real quick. Let's get right into the man. As you guys have been woken up this morning, looked at some red in your accounts. It is what it is, guys. Let me say this, that what's very interesting is this emotional kind of ride that we go on when we're dealing with investments, period. And so I think it helps is to have a long-term perspective. Like, here's a great question to ask yourself. If you are investing in crypto or even in the stock market right now, is ask yourself, as it relates to your portfolio, as it relates to your core investments, where do you think it'll be by this time next year? I think that's a great question to ask, because you may look at it now and may look at something short term, but if you start asking yourself, where do I think it'll be a year from now, that'll help you to calm your nerves a little bit. So we have a fear and greed index. We know that there's extreme fear in the market right now. A lot of global pressure coming to place from a new COVID variant, from regulation, from uncertainty as it relates to how things are going to be, how the laws are going to be passed, things like that. But even beyond that, what I kind of turn to is my feeling on how things are going to be a year from now. And I also turn to what I call fundamentals, which would be what are other people doing? What are the big dogs doing? And so we'll take a look at some of these fundamentals, which helps me. And then also the way in which I invest helps me as well. I really am more of a guy who is investing in things that pay me all the time. So I don't really concern myself with the ups and downs of the market all the time, because of the way in which I invest as well. But that's just me, and I teach that stuff at Billionaires Club. But anyway, we're sitting at 16 here in the market. Yesterday it was at 18. Last week it was at 33. So this thing has continued to come down, more and more fear in the market, driving people out of the market. And it's not just by choice that people may sell off. A lot of stuff happened on Friday, which would be liquidation. So a lot of loans, a lot of leverage positions, a lot of people that took these loans out as collateral, but they were leveraged. Their loan to value was high. What happens is this. So let's just say you own Bitcoin and you take a loan out of your Bitcoin, and that loan to value, let's just say, is 80% or 75%, which means that the collateral that you have used must maintain, must stay above 75% of your loan. Well, what happens when the value of, let's say, Bitcoin goes down, it starts to put pressure on the health of your loan. So if you drop below 75%, you're going to get a message saying, hey, you need to add more Bitcoin as your collateral to keep your loan. And if you're unable to do that, well, then guess what? You lose your Bitcoin. So that would be because that's your collateral. So that's another thing that's kind of pushed people out of the market, is because a lot of people continue to do risky stuff, which is high leverage positions, and then and not even considering that the market will take a turn, and then they find themselves getting liquidated. So we're going to talk about that on Friday, really. I got my brother coming in to talk to us a little bit about this on Friday, about liquidation, and also about that's what I'm talking about, Eric. Eric said, man, a reaction and a response are two different things. Man, that's a great quote, man. A reaction and a response are absolutely two different things. See, I'm responding to the market. I'm not reacting to it. And we'll take a look at the market here now, just a second. So let's take a look here. So cryptocurrency is down 4% since yesterday. We have cut about. We were at a $3 trillion market cap. We're at 2.22 now. So that's $800 trillion, something like that. $800 billion, close to almost close to $1 trillion. $800 billion has been cut out of the market over the past, I would say, 2 weeks. But if you take a look at charts, you'll see like Bitcoin right now is 48.5. We see that it continues to bounce right around 47,000. Seems to be its next level of support. It hasn't. It broke down temporarily, but I would say 47,000 is really this level that is just that it's got some strong support. And I had to do some more research after I get off of this live to continue to look at these charts. But anyway, it bounced back off of 47. Now it's at 48.5, and we have extreme fear in the market, which I consider to be excellent buying opportunities. Here's the thing. So, when Bitcoin is rising or crypto is rising, it's reaching all-time highs. It's very interesting that a lot of people want to buy then. But I say, well, hey, if you value Bitcoin at $60,000, $65,000, well, don't you value it more now at 48.5, right? So it's a thing like, well, the scared people won't move when things are down in order to secure a position, and other people, or they get in when it's moving up, where they actually are paying a premium for that particular asset, which doesn't make a lot. But that's a psychology, that's a mental thing that's hard to overcome. When things are moving up, they're rising, you're like, oh my goodness, I do not want to miss this opportunity. Let me go ahead and jump in. When things are falling, it's like, oh man, I made a mistake. Let me get out. And that's like reverse psychology. It's more like, well, hey, you know what? I see this asset. I value it at this particular point. I feel like here's where it's going to be a year from now. Well, if a year from now, if I feel like it's going to be 100,000, then I feel like at 48,000, I'm getting a 50% discount. So it really comes down to your evaluation of the assets that you have in your portfolio. And that works for any portfolio. That works for a real estate portfolio. That works for a stock market portfolio. That works for any portfolio, any investment portfolio that you have. How do you evaluate that which you own? How do you value that which you own? And then you can really determine for yourself. You say, well, hey, I feel like this is a discount, or hey, I feel like this is going to zero, or hey, I feel like this is not worth anything. And hopefully, I would say, you didn't invest in anything that you do not value. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you didn't go pick up, just stuff because someone else said it, or stuff that you didn't research, or stuff that you don't value. Hopefully you picked up things that you value, and that way, you can feel more confident in your portfolio. But everybody doesn't necessarily. Anyway, Ethereum's at 4,000. It's only down 3% over the past 24 hours. This is also why I like to look at things at the same time every day, because that way you can really get a real good feel for where you stand. Solano's down 7%. I think that's showing an excellent opportunity. Solano's a big, it's kind of a big project. Cardano's down another 6%. I tell you guys, ADA really gives me a headache. It really has given me a headache. And here's the reason why. Although I feel like ADA is a great value at this price, I also feel like it's going to take ADA a long time to recover because they move so slow. But I could be wrong. XRP still, 77 cents, 6% now. DOT's down 9%. Terra Luna, which was killing it, over the past couple of days, it's down 17%. So we have a market that's down right now, but also a market that's starting to certain positions are starting to hit some what we would call supports. And you can see some differences over here as well when we look at these charts. So for example, you see Bitcoin and Ethereum have kind of dipped and then began to either go sideways or recover, right? But you see something like Cardano it's still kind of going down. Solano's still kind of going down. So they haven't really, XRP is kind of hit some sideways, Polkadot still kind of going down. So it's like, some of these positions haven't really hit a true support yet. So be very careful as you may be looking at, I think CRO kind of hit a support. 52 cents, so CRO is an absolute steal. I'll be picking up some Polygon there as well. But anyway, look at Algo. Algo has hit that dip and then it started to recover. You see, so you can look at charts to see the differences in some of these patterns that are taking place as well if you begin to actually look at charts as well. But anyway, but here's some of the things why I'm excited about. If you're excited about crypto right now, if you're excited about where we stand, right? Because it's hard to be excited when things are down. It's hard to be excited when you feel like you've lost some money. But here's the reality. You haven't lost anything until you sell. It's called unrealized. It's not real profit. It's not a real loss until you actually sell. And so this is how net worth goes up and down, because the value of assets are always moving in price. The value of a home may go up or go down in some particular market. The value of stocks may go up or go down in particular market cycles. And same thing here with cryptocurrency. But I feel absolutely excited right now because I have an opportunity to buy some things that I value, that I think is going to be way more valuable in the future. I'm able to get them at an even better deal because I am a wheeler and a dealer. But here's some other reason why I'm excited. Right, El Salvador is in the news. Okay, well, I don't want to sign up. No, don't want to sign up. El Salvador in the news. So what did El Salvador do? So now, if you guys have been following for a while, you know that the country or the president of El Salvador or the country has accepted Bitcoin as legal tender. Well, what were they doing? Well, El Salvador, they bought the fucking dip, right? They bought another 150 Bitcoin worth 7.3 million when it dipped over the weekend, right? So this Bitcoin's most recent price was not deterred El Salvador, right? The question is, has it deterred you from buying the dip once again? So El Salvador's pro-Bitcoin president updated earlier today that the country had reacted to the recent price crash by purchasing 150 more Bitcoin at an average price just over 48.5. Right, so this is a country that is buying more crypto for their crypto-friendly country. It's safe to say that El Salvador is the most bullish country on Bitcoin as it legalized the primary cryptocurrency earlier this year. Since then, the president and his administration have used every opportunity to take further advantage of the opportunities in the market, and is planning to utilize BC profits to build schools and a pet hospital. So this president of this country, El Salvador, is bullish on Bitcoin. Now, I got to ask myself, how do I think that he feels or they feel about the future promise of Bitcoin if they went and bought another 150 coins, spent another $7.3 million of the country's money to buy Bitcoin in this most recent dip? I either feel like the president of the country or I don't, right? I'm either pro Bitcoin or I'm not. I'm either pro crypto or I'm not. So it hasn't deterred him from going in and buying the dip. Has it deterred you? He saw it as a huge buying opportunity. He saw it as a huge sale. Here's the question. How about you, right? So this is a country that's doing something. This is not an individual. This affects the whole country of El Salvador. That's why I'm like, wow, a whole country, right? Not just me, not just my family, not just my city, not just some some institution, not just some celebrity, not some one billionaire. No, a country is buying Bitcoin. I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good about my position in Bitcoin. Of course, I've been in Bitcoin for a little while, but I still feel pretty good about the future promise of it. So they're going to use profits to build schools. They're going to use profits to build a pet hospital. He announced the intention to build a designated Bitcoin city and buy 500 million more worth of the asset through a special bond. So they got a bond. That's a government-regulated program to go and buy $500 million more of Bitcoin. That adds to the demand. That reduces supply, right? This is pretty soon. Here's the deal, guys. Pretty soon. I'm not going to say pretty soon. I don't know how soon it's going to be. But let's just say pretty soon, Bitcoin is going to be super scarce, right? Pretty soon, right? Pretty soon, you're not going to be able to just easily buy Bitcoin. It's just not going to be that easy. Exchanges are going to dry up as more and more big money comes in and buys the stuff up. All right, obviously, you're going to be buying from the people that got liquidated, buying from the supply that's out there right now, reducing supply over a period of time, right? The creation of Bitcoin is going to slow over time as well. So eventually, right, it's going to be very, very hard to get Bitcoin. Here's the reason why I'm saying, hey, that's my primary goal, my primary responsibility with my money is to get Bitcoin. I get it, right? A lot of other things look enticing, and a lot of other things may grow in value. They may have a pump, or they may do well. But at the end of the day, right, the crypto market is all based on the success of Bitcoin. Let me say that again for the people on the back. The entire crypto market, right, this entire $2.2 trillion market is based on the success of two major coins, the first one being Bitcoin and the second one being Ethereum. Right? Bitcoin is 41%, right, of the crypto market. That means money moved out of some of these altcoin positions, went into stablecoin positions, and went back more into Bitcoin. So the entire crypto market is really based on the success of Bitcoin, which is why that's a priority as it relates to adding to your portfolio, right? Because pretty soon you might not be able to get it just as easily as you can get it today. Does that make any sense to anybody? Okay, so everybody he's got a goal of to add 500 million more over a particular time. He updated the country, had indeed started accumulating more coins. This purchase 150 more comes amid a price crash. The asset below 50,000. The average price is 48,670. El Salvador spent 7.3 million to purchase 150 coins. So he bought the dip. Okay. Now what's going on? Well, we're not only just a country, guys. We have a mayor, the mayor of Miami, Mr. Suarez. Look what he's doing over there in Miami, looking to build another Bitcoin city of some sort, or at least Bitcoin-friendly city of some sort. I don't know what happened here. Can we get that array? All right. So Miami mayor seeks wider crypto use after taking pay in Bitcoin. So the Miami mayor, who is Francis Suarez, basically said, you know what, I'm going to take my next paycheck 100% Bitcoin. After he did that, the new New York mayor, Mr. Adams, said he's going to take his next paycheck in Bitcoin. After he did that, you had the new mayor in Tennessee say she's going to take her next paycheck in Bitcoin. And they're seeking to expand the use of cryptocurrency across the city, across a big, very popular city in the United States, that city being Miami. Now, residents will be able to pay fees and taxes in Bitcoin. And multiple employees also get their salaries in digital currency, Suarez said in a Bloomberg television interview. Here's what they're doing in Miami. So while the price may be going down, the value is going up. Let's say that again for the people in the back. Because price is what you pay, value is what you get. So our price may be going down, value of the asset is actually going up. Why? Because the asset is going to be used. The ad has some purpose behind it. More cities and more countries are finding ways to use this thing called cryptocurrency. Hey, so here's what he said. Here's what the mayor of Miami said. For any city to survive and thrive, we need a knowledge-based economy. The focus on cryptocurrency is part of a pivot toward the tech sector in the city, where the mayor is trying to draw more companies to move from higher tax areas. He's advocating for Miami to become a new center of digital finance. Miami is looking to become a new center of digital finance. The move to accept his pay through Bitcoin comes in response to a question from investor Anthony Bob, who co-founded the Mornin Creek Digital Assets before launching Palm Investments in September 2020. The Miami mayor also holds jobs as a lawyer and with a private equity firm. The tweet appeared to reference his public sector salary, which was set at $97,000 as of 2018. That salary is converted instantly into Bitcoin through the fintech company StrikeHead. All right. Shortly after Suarez's tweet, New York Mayor-elect Eric Adams also said he would take his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin when he takes over the City Hall in January. Eric Adams, if you don't know, is a black man. He's a black mayor of New York City. He's the mayor-elect. He'll take over in January, also seeking to make the city a center for cryptocurrency. So these are 2 major cities in the United States, Miami and New York City, looking to become basically centers for cryptocurrency or centers for digital finance. Now, ask yourself this, right? Does this add or take away the value of cryptocurrency? Does this add to cryptocurrency's value or does it remove it? Right? Does this add to possible adoption from all of the citizens of New York and Miami, those that live in those states, or does it take away from it? See, this is where the fundamentals start to come in. You start thinking, wait a second. Right, wait a second. Earlier this year, Miami launched a token called Miami Coin, which Suarez said has generated $30 million in revenue over 3 months. Now, how many of the city, let me ask you this. How many of you guys live in cities right now that could use $10 million per month, basically creating some type of project using cryptocurrency to drive revenue? They use a token called Miami Coin, a cryptocurrency, and it generated $30 million in 3 months. How many of our cities are looking for ways to increase their revenue so they can, I don't know, fix the streets and pay their employees better and whatever else they're looking to do as a city? Again, we talked about a country, El Salvador. We're talking about cities like Miami and New York City. Cities really only have 2 choices, Mr. Suarez said. Right? They can pretend it doesn't exist, or they can face those realities, embrace that disruption, and embrace the change. And I would say the same thing for anybody else. We can pretend that crypto doesn't exist. We can pretend that NFTs don't exist. We can pretend that metaverse doesn't exist, or we can face reality. We can embrace this disruption. It's disrupting every industry in the world, and we can embrace the change. Everybody put in console, embrace change. See, here's the thing, beautiful people. There's plenty of people that I talk to on a regular basis, on a daily basis, I hear from, who simply say stuff like this. You know what? I don't understand it. Well, here's what I know. You can learn to understand what you don't understand. You are a human being. You have a brain, right? You can learn what you don't know. You can understand what you don't know if you truly want to understand it. It's one thing to say, I don't understand it. Then you ask all of these questions that lead you to further confusion because you don't know how to ask the right questions. Or you say, you know what, this is something I don't understand, but this is something that's new, and just like anything else that's new that's come in my life, I can begin to learn about it. And then it takes a little bit of time. You start reading, you start finding yourself, putting yourself in new positions, new places, so that you can embrace the change that's already happening, so that you can understand what you don't understand, and then you can be what? Knowledgeable. You go from ignorance to wise. Right? Ignorant being I simply don't know to knowledgeable being I know now. Right? You went from I don't know to I know now. But, you know, this is why we kind of do this show every morning, right? To be able to help those who simply say I don't get it because you don't want to get it, right? And then turn that into, okay, now I'm beginning to see. Now I'm beginning to understand. Now, there must be something to this, right? There's no way in the world that a country is going to risk, right, the livelihood of citizens to embrace this thing called Bitcoin. There's no way that 2 cities, right, 2 mayors, which are prominent people in those cities, is going to risk their reputation, risk the basically the political stance and the financial stance of their cities if this was not a thing. Think about it for a second. Now, it doesn't mean that every city is doing it, but it takes one to start before the rest follow. Would you agree? That's how dominoes work. One has to fall before the rest fall. All right, Miami was the first to fall. New York followed up after that. Guess what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. In future elections, we're going to start wondering, is this person a person of the old guard, a person that's going to keep doing things the way that they've been doing, or is this a person that's leading us into the future? And unfortunately, we still have, because of the way the voting process is set up, right? We still have pretty much all of the older people who go vote. The younger people don't go vote. And because the younger people don't go vote, we can't move these old people, these old farts, these old thinking people out of these positions and put, fresh minds and some new ideas and some creativity into these prominent positions. But thank God for Miami. Thank God for New York. Thank God for Cool Valley, Missouri. Thank God for whatever the city is in Tennessee. Thank God for our senators who say, you know what, we have to embrace this change. Thank God for these individuals who look at this, who are courageous enough, bold enough, right? Because you got to be bold. You got to be bold to take a stand for something that's new when it disrupts how things have always been done, or how things have been done for the past 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Don't you think it's kind of strange? Don't you think it's kind of strange that some of our political figures have lifetime jobs and you don't? Let me say that again for the people in the back. Don't you think that's strange? That they could get a position and be in that position for a lifetime, but yet you and I can get fired from our jobs. And it doesn't matter whether they do a good job or a bad job, because nobody really cares about politics like that. Okay? Right? So it's hard to move the way in which people think when we don't move some of those people from their positions. And they want things to stay the way that they are because it benefits them. It benefits their pocketbooks. It benefits their children. It benefits their communities. And you have this new guard saying, well, we want to do some things different so we can benefit more people. More people can benefit from this wealth distribution, so to speak. Okay? Eric Troop said, man, what's going on, Eric? Eric B has a good comment. He said, from the 45 to 8 tracks to cassettes to CDs to MP3s to streaming. Digital is already here. Why wouldn't money follow? Great response. Why wouldn't it? Right? So you gotta so in order to be confident again in your position, whatever that is, right? Ask yourself, where do you think this thing is going to be a year from now? Right? Cryptocurrency has been around for 13 years. It didn't get started yesterday. All right, we've seen it grow from nothing to 66,000 down to 45,000. We've seen new projects be developed. Matter of fact, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some more projects that's been developed. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after. Oh my God, I can't talk about this. This when I found this, guys, I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Let's see here. Right back after the break. They do have franchise opportunities available for you guys out there. Again, it's a Black-owned business. It's expanding to new areas, new territories. So if you, they do have a fish side and a burger side. So if you're a person that's looking to get into franchising, consider this as an opportunity to bring this business to your area via, airports, malls, food trucks, whatever the case may be. It's a turnkey operation. So instead of trying to come up with everything yourself, you can invest in something and have it already kind of completed and ready to go for you. Another opportunity is actually to invest in a company as they're expanding. I do have a crowdfunding campaign that you can be a part of to invest for the long term, 5 to 10 year period, and be a part of their profits as they grow. So check them out at www.supremefoodsworldwide, www.supremefoodsworldwide.com. Okay, man, if you are enjoying the show, you get some value out of what we are doing. You're saying, you appreciate it, brother. that's bringing you crypto info in the morning, letting you guys hopefully selling your soul and all that good stuff. Let me get some hand claps in the chat if you are enjoying the show this morning. Get some hand claps in the chat. Now, we were talking a little bit about projects, right? Some new projects, more different things like that, right? Well, here's something I got for you, right? And this is what this is. We might stay here for the rest of the show because I was super excited when I came across this article that I'm about to show right now. It's moving a little slow. But look at this. All right. So So filmmakers launch first Hollywood feature funded by NFTs. I'm going to read that again. Filmmakers launch the first Hollywood feature, which is funded by NFTs. So startup NFT Studios is called, NFT Studios. NFT Studio is aiming to make the first feature film by solely funded by minting NFTs. Let's see how this is going to work out. So NFT Studio. So it's a new startup, right? So what does that mean? That means that crypto has created some new opportunities for new businesses to be developed, to be able to use new business models in order for funding and to help promote creativity. So a new startup is aiming to produce the first ever feature film to be fully funded by NFTs in a bid to break up the old boys club of the movie industry. Right. So again, if you know somebody that's in the movie industry, you know some some producer or some filmmaker or something like that, you might want to tag them because this is just a new way of thinking. So anyway, NFT Studios will issue non-fungible tokens or NFTs to fund the production of a comedy drama, A Wing and a Prayer, based on the true story of Brian Milton, the first man to circumnavigate the globe in a micro-light aircraft. I guess around the world in 80 days, something like that. The joint U.S. and United Kingdom production is eyeing an April 2022 shoot in Malta and London and aims to be the first feature film intended to be solely funded by minting NFT tokens. Now, why is this interesting to me? Because I don't really know the route in which they normally go to get funding, but basically this is like self-funding. This is like creating money out of thin air to create or to complete your goal or whatever, right? To fund your dream or to finance your mission, right? So they're saying, hey, we're going to go this route. This is a new route of funding, right, for this project. So brainchild of Hollywood executive producer Niels Jewell, NFT Studio is part funded by $1 million in backing from UK PLC NFT Investments. Its production will be funded by NFT drops based on the films of its production slate. All right, let's keep on. I mean, this is interesting here. Okay, so NFT drops come with the executive producer like perks, like going to the set for a day, meeting some of the talent, getting swag like props, and going to both physical and digital premieres. Explained Jonathan Bixby. He's the executive chairman and co-founder of Bitcoin mining firm Argo Blockchain. It looks like okay, this is like around the world. The token will also give backers a share of the film's profits. Okay, so these NFT tokens that are going to be dropped for this film that they're looking to make in April 22 will give special perks, and then also it will give backers a share in the film's profits, almost like royalties from the film. Fundamentally, the idea is to share on the upside of the residuals of a film on a long-term basis. Now, just think about this for a second, right? In the comments below, I'd love for you to share, some movie that you wish you were able to share in their profits. Yeah, put that in the comments. So some movie that you can think of that you wish something like this was around back when they made this movie and you could share in their profits, right? I'll tell you, first thing that came out for me is like Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. I wish I would still get paid off the Wizard of Oz. What's a movie that you wish you could share in their profits? I can't. E.T. was a very, very famous movie. How much money they made, right? E.T. Anyway, building a film community. The aim, explains Jules, is to democratize the process of filmmaking and get an engaged audience that are also our investors in the movie at the same time. He argued that NFTs and crypto represent the start of a new era in filmmaking, distribution, and funding. A new era in filmmaking, distribution, and funding. It's another step in the direction of shortening that distance between the creators and their audiences. It says there's old boys club, we just talked about, or old girls club for that matter, in Hollywood. And that is going to get a wake-up call on this. So NFTs represent a shift in the ownership of intellectual property from the centralized studios to a community of fans, argued Bixby. If you think about what we're doing, we're owning the IP from its inception. That ownership is then translated to the people that are going to benefit from it, the fans and the community. Now, here's the thing. Can you begin to see why, right, crypto is very valuable? Can you begin to see why NFTs are a real thing? It's more than just, a JPEG file that someone can, attach some type of ownership to. Do you see how there's some creativity that's happening and saying, hey, here's how we can use this for what we do. The film industry and NFTs. So we see, let me go back. We have seen NFTs as it relates to real estate, right? This metaverse, that's all NFT stuff. We see NFTs as it relates to the music industry. We've seen NFTs for, I've shared some information on NFTs for mortgage. And now we're talking about NFTs and the film industry. Do you think it's going to stop here? Do you think it's going to stop here? No, it's not. We're just getting started. Okay? Somebody said Black Panther says, wish I get royalties on Black Panther, right? So let's keep going. So the film industry has not been slow to seize on the potential NFTs, cryptographically unique tokens that can be used to prove ownership of content such as art, music, or video. Film studios have released NFTs to tie in with blockbusters such as Dune and Spider-Man, while recent spat between Miramax and director Quentin Tarantino over the latter's plans to launch NFTs based on the film Pulp Fiction. Meanwhile, NFT projects such as CryptoPunk and the Bored Ape Yacht Club boom in popularity, and some pioneers have attempted to distribute films as NFTs. But for NFT Studios' part, they're focused on getting a wing and a prayer off the ground, but they have grander ambitions. Here's what Jules said. I have about 9 projects that are sitting in the pipeline waiting for these sorts of opportunities, some of which are broader commercial product, some which are topical, and some of which, frankly, also have a nice social agenda to them. We like to have movies that have a positive message in the world. If we can do that at the same time as we can create communities, so much better. So, again, NFT Studio, which that's the name of their company, right, is looking to basically produce, create, produce, and distribute, create, finance, and distribute a new film called A Wing and a Prayer. And they're looking to do that solely off of, when they say solely, that means they're not going to get any investors. They're not looking for people to invest in their project. They say the investors are going to be the people, and we're going to give the people an opportunity to invest in this project and also profit or benefit from it as we have success in a project. I can see how something like this could work, right? Now, I don't know if this is the right movie, A Wing and a Prayer. I mean, I don't know if how intrigued I am about the movie, but the idea is spot on, right? To go from the old guard of these centralized studios, and this is how you have to go about, or you don't even get an opportunity to be able to express yourself and express your project and get funding for your project and all that stuff based upon who says what. To, you know what, let's take it directly to the people and see if the people actually are going to back the idea itself. So this is another way that NFTs are being used basically to create capital, right? And the interesting thing, although this is a new way of doing business, although it's a new model, don't you guys know that we still even in the I guess you could say in the legacy business world, they're still not talking about this as an option, right? To generate capital for yourself, to generate capital for your idea, to generate capital for whatever it is that you're looking to do, to get funding. It's still going to be predominantly do what you got to do to get a loan versus allowing other. This is like This is like Shark Tank for the people. So here's how Shark Tank works, right? You have this idea and you're looking to expand, right? So you go to Shark Tank with your idea so they can buy into your project and give you the capital that you need in order to expand your brand or give you help to help it expand. Well, what if all of those sharks were actual fans? What if all those sharks culminated to people who actually like your project, and now they could chip in, right, to help fund the project, and then you didn't have to give up ownership to the project, and then you could expand the project. This is like Shark Tank for the people. This is like People's Shark Tank in a sense, which is actually, I think, is pretty cool. But anyway, filmmakers, right? So we have mortgages, music, and now film. And I probably missed a couple that are using NFTs in some form or fashion, whether it's for funding, whether it's for expansion or anything like that. This is crypto centered. Again, just adding to the use case, adding to what people are able to do or the things that people are thinking about doing as it relates to using crypto in this world, which is why I'm still bullish when it comes to my portfolio. Okay, now you guys probably saw this the other day. We know that Snoop Dogg has a space in the metaverse. We know that he built his mansion there in Sandbox, and we know that that he had a mansion party that he sold tickets that people actually came to in the metaverse. Well, I was having a conversation with a brother. He said, I don't understand why something would be valuable. I said, well, hey, guess what? When it comes to real estate, it's no different. It's called location, location, location. Everybody put it on location. So someone said, well, hey, Snoop Dogg got a mansion. Well, my location want to be right next to Snoop Dogg's mansion. And they paid $450,000, right? $450,000 to be a neighbor, to be a metaverse neighbor of Snoop Dogg and his mansion. So California-based rapper Snoop Dogg is now a resident of the Sandbox metaverse, and someone really wants to live right next door. They pay $450,000 to be right next to Snoop Dogg and his mansion. Snoop Dogg is recreating his California mansion in the Sandbox, a decentralized metaverse game on Ethereum that minted its first wave of virtual lives in the Snoopverse yesterday. A plot next to Snoop's virtual property sold today for close to 71,000 sand of the native token in the Sandbox, which is about $450,000. Now, virtual land in the Sandbox is being sold as NFTs. Say it again, virtual land in Sandbox is being sold as NFTs. So if you're a person saying, you know what, you want to get into this whole virtual real estate game, understand that you are participating in the NFT game, right? Because that's what it is. Virtual land is being sold as NFTs, which are unique tokens that grant ownership rights over digital items. In this case, plots of digital real estate. The Sandbox land NFTs can be bought and sold just like any other NFTs on platforms like OpenSea. In response to news that a plot next to his sold for $450,000, Snoop Dogg tweeted out, "Won't you be my neighbor?" As Snoop Dogg said on December 3rd. Matthew News, I don't know who that is. We're going to do multiple things with him, said News Ralph. The next campaign is going to be around selling land with Snoop Dogg. And then we have this big concert. We sold 1,000 tickets and it's coming early next year. The Snoopverse land NFT sale lists 3 estates in total, including the plot that sold at auction for nearly $500,000. The 2 other estates sold for close to 55,000 sand and 67,000 sand, which is $338,000 and $410,000 respectively. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I understand. Just like in physical real estate, everybody ain't got that kind of money. That's okay. That just means that that wouldn't be your digital real estate. You got to understand, guys, that everybody's not in the same position as you and I. Everybody isn't, there's plenty of people with a whole bunch of money that look for stuff to do with it. And you got to recognize that there are some wealthy people in our land, you also must recognize that some of these people may have just become wealthy because of their investment in cryptocurrency. You must also understand that this sand that we're talking about, some people have actually been in sand for a while, that they have actually probably not liquidated, have pools of sand where they're getting sand for free, and they're creating it or minting it or mining it and all this stuff that's happening. There's a lot of things about crypto that you simply don't know, and you think that someone just simply paid $338,000 for it. Well, the reality is that I guess it is $338,000 worth, but how did they get that $338,000? In this particular case, not even $338,000. How did they acquire 55,000 sand? These are things that you simply don't understand, don't know. So you think that, you may think that someone just came out of pocket $338,000 out of their pocket to buy the 55,000 sand in order to buy the land. That may not necessarily be the case. They may have already had 25,000 sand. They may have been invested in sand for a long time. You don't know. You don't know, right? But at the end of the day, though, they're using this time frame to get more money, to get rich, to offer things of value. And the thing about money is this: people spend their money on that which they decide to spend their money on. Right? I can't sit here and judge you based upon what you spend your money on. I might think that the stuff you spend your money on is pretty stupid. I might think that you waste a whole bunch of money. You might think that candy bar that you got is very valuable to you. Who am I to say about what you do with your money? What I do know is this, though, right? Digital real estate is valuable to somebody. If we see 338,000, we see 500,000, we see 410,000, if we see these kind of numbers, we can denote that digital real estate or virtual real estate has value, right? Regardless of whether you understand it or not. And here's what I said the other day: evolution does not require your understanding. Evolution does not require your acceptance. Evolution does not care whether you understand or whether you accept it. It's happening regardless of your stance on whether you think that real estate or virtual real estate is valuable or not. Hey, guess what? Here's how you know it's valuable. $338,000 spent on it. That shows you that something was worth $338,000 to somebody if it wasn't worth it to you. Just like if we go into physical real estate, we can say somebody spent $500 million on a mansion. Well, you might not think that mansion was worth $500 million, but somebody did. So that's the thing. You must get out of your own way. You must get out of your own head. You must get out of your own thinking, especially if your thinking is from a poverty mindset, where you just can't simply see yourself having $338,000 or $410,000. I would say that's a poverty mindset more so than it is somebody else doing something stupid with their money mindset. They must got it in order to spend it. Generate at a much lower price point. 122 standard land NFTs are also for sale at 1,000 sand in the area around Snoop Dogg's virtual real estate. Right, there are also 67 premium land NFTs, which cost 4,683 sand, with each one including 3 additional NFTs as a bonus. Now, understand this from our brother, what he said 2 weeks ago. He said there was a time when these sand lots were $40. Some of these sand lots were $40 right before people started seeing true value in them and driving the price of real estate up. Just like in some neighborhoods that you go into, the land, what they were doing. Detroit was giving, Cleveland or Detroit was giving away homes for $100 at one particular point 5 years ago, something like that. And then probably the value of those lots have gone up since then. It's no different, right? Right? You start building on the land. You start building, in this particular case, a mansion. You're going to have things that are going to be happening. It's going to be popping in that place. Then that area is going to be a lot more valuable. It's going to cost a lot more to be at, right, than other areas in this metaverse. So just start thinking. If I don't even know if you can start thinking real estate, if you even think about how real estate works, if you know how real estate operates. But this is a very similar concept to how physical real estate works. It's all based on location, okay? So we see the kind of money that's being spent over here for virtual real estate, guys. It is a thing, whether you understand it, whether you like it, whether you accept it or not. Now, here's the thing. That's why sand, right, this token, which is another way that you can participate or benefit or profit from virtual real estate might be something you might want to pick up, might be something to add to your watch list, might be something to get it while it's on sale, right? You see the type of transactions that are taking place with sand. It might be valuable for you to own sand because that's going to drive the value of the sand token up. Would you agree? That's how it works, right? All right, so things are taking place over here in the metaverse. The sandbox metaverse is driving the value of the properties in this metaverse, and it's also going to probably end up driving the value of the token up, as well as more and more people realize I got to have this in order to do some transactions. Does that make any sense to anybody? Okay? Make any sense to anybody? We've been living in a dirt world since Atari and Nintendo. Wake up. Yeah, I know that's right, brother. I mean, I don't know what to tell people. I do not know what to tell people. But anyway, guys, that's what we got for you. I want to share some things with you in the comments below. I'd love for you to share your takeaways from today. Did you get some value out of the Crypto in the Morning show this morning? Had more to share, but we don't have that kind of time. We got to get moving. That's just what it is. If you don't have the words, you're still trying to figure this thing out. It's still a mystery to you, but you did get some value. You can drop some pineapples in the chat. Now, here's the deal. We got a few things that are available to you. I do offer classes, crypto classes. I offer crypto consultations, and we have a crypto club. If you're a person that hasn't got started in this thing called crypto, now's a good time to start while things are low. Well, maybe you need to take a class so you can begin to understand what you don't know. Also, there's a link in the description to Coinbase where you can actually get started, maybe buy your first cryptocurrency, right? Get it while it's on sale. Those are opportunities available for you. You can find those in the description if you're on Facebook or YouTube. We also have crypto consultations. Maybe you're a person that's got started in crypto, but you haven't learned how to make it do what it do, right? So, well, you might want to go one-on-one with the great one, right? So we can help you develop a strategy and a plan that's going to fit what you are looking to do in this cryptocurrency space. Well, you can reach out to us, guys, and we'll see about setting up an appointment with you for a crypto consultation. And last but not least, we do have the Crypto Club. That's the Black Billionaires Club. If you're a BBC member and you are here with us live here today, go to the console, #BBC. Maybe you're a person that's in crypto. Maybe you're doing fairly well, but you're still out here in these streets by yourself. So you're not really getting all the information because you can only see so much. And now you're saying, you know what, let me join a group where information is coming from a lot of different places. And then I can kind of pick and choose what I want to dive into. I can begin to understand, or I can begin to compound my knowledge by leveraging the knowledge of others. Well, and that's why we say don't go by yourself and go fast, but go far and go together. Well, that's why we have that for, okay? So you can join the club by simply clicking on the link, at theblackbillionairesclub.com. You'll find that in the description as well. And last but not least, we do have a holiday special going on right now. You can take any one of our classes, right, for 50% off if you want to educate yourself. Man, my mentor said that formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. It's when I got into self-education, when I began to learn what they were not going to teach me in school, right, that I began to get rich. I suggest you do the same thing. Well, you can take one of our classes for 50% off by clicking on the link below. How does one join the BBC? There is a link that says theblackbillionairesclub.com. You go to the website and then you click on join the club, and then you decide to do that right there, okay? At theblackbillionairesclub.com, you will find that link in the description. Anyway, I'm the host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, and international best-selling author of the Black Billionaires Club. That's where the book comes from. That's where the club comes from. We do what billionaires do, okay? Billionaires invest. That's what we do, okay? We're just following what billionaires do to have billionaire-type success in our life. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need, and thank God that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music. Oh, yeah.